We shall nonetheless proceed. Who in your office instructed Bank of Uganda to make this payment, on either for and on behalf of the Accountant General?
Okay, you see, the payment process, and even I think Bank of Uganda will say the same. We have tried as much as possible to automate it. And automation means that each person at a different level, you do your input. For example, what do I mean? In that the treasury operations people, because this falls under their mandate, they are the ones who initiate the process. They initiate.
They are called treasury operations.
Yes, they initiate. But so when they initiate, it goes to the payment side. Now,
we are talking about Mrs. Muhuruzi.
Yes, so they initiate, and when they initiate, now it goes to the general, what we call the payment side. Now, the payment side, for it, they do what they call an amalgamation.
Now, take us slow because, you know, we have not been there.
Okay.
Now, of Mrs. Muhuruzi, who are those particular persons that initiated? Before we go to the payment side, now we are still at treasury operations. They are initiating. Who are those that initiated?
Chair, indulge with us because
I will always do.
Yeah, because for me, when you told me to come, I basically came on my own with the few persons that I could come because we had an engagement.
You know, Mrs. Muhuruzi is just seated on your immediate right.
Yes, she is.
She's the docket holder.
So I don't know if she also could have gone into the system to know because
it would actually be a big offense. Okay. It would be treasonable for her not to have gone into the system.
So I'd wanted the chair to talk about the general and then we can come to the specifics.
No, because you told me you have 1 hour. Okay. I will not undertake the lecture of knowing the entire operation system because of your time limitation. For me, I have all the time up to midnight, including tomorrow. Now, I want to know specifically in this, because 3 months, Mrs. Muhuruzi must have also looked into her system and have a trail. So, Mrs. Jennifer Bijirwa Muhuruzi. Bijirwa, yes, Muhuruzi. Tell us who in your team handled this particular transaction. And by the way, even for Bank of Uganda, we do not want to hold them for the entire day. They are doing a lot of work. Madam, get onto the microphone. Oh, by the way, for this, you could even sacrifice the salaries.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, as we are trying to explain, payment processing is indeed a process at various stages. So we have officers who start the process, and the process will start by us receiving the bills from the particular creditor. Then we have officers who will do the reconciliation.
Yes, let's not talk into generalities. So did you receive bills from the creditors?
Yes,
These
we
two
did.
creditors?
Yes, we did.
You have those bills with you here?
Not here, but we received the bills.
Please submit the same by close of business today.
Okay. So when we received the bills, we indeed reconciled them.
We reconciled them. Who reconciled them?
Maureen.
Maureen who?
Maureen Kichoncho did the reconciliation.
Maureen Kichoncho.
Yes.
Yes.
Did the reconciliation and the tally with our system.
Did the reconciliation.
Which is the debt management and the financial analysis system.
Who else? Anyone else?
That's
okay. After Maureen reconciling or doing the reconciliation, where did it go?
It now comes through the assistant commissioner, and at that point...
Who is the assistant commissioner?
That is Mubarak.
Who?
Mubarak.
Mubarak. Mubarak who?
Nasamba.
Masamba.
Nasamba.
Nasamba.
So
Yes.
at that point, we now raise an internal memo
So what does Nasamba do? Or what did he
to
do?
review and also confirm.
Reviewed and confirmed.
Review and confirm, and then also to raise an internal memo to the
No, not
accounting
to raise,
officer.
raised.
Raised.
Now we are talking about past tense.
Yeah.
Raised an internal memo.
Raised an internal memo that came to the accounting officer for authorization to process that payment. So that came.
To authorize payment. Yes.
Yes.
Authorize payment.
Myself, Jennifer, yeah. So that came to me as the accounting officer, and I authorized for both transactions.
So number 3 now is I authorized
Yes,
payment.
authorized payment. And
To who? Payment to who?
when I authorize payment, I'm giving authority to
No. Who is the beneficiary?
IDA.
IDA
The first one was
And
IDA, and then the second one
is
to
ADF.
ADF.
ADF here we mean the African Development Fund.
Correct.
So don't misquote her that they were paying Allied Democratic Forces. Yes, I want us to go process by process so that we understand each other.
Yes.
So after authorizing, who do you submit to?
After authorizing, I return them and say this is authorized, and then
I return to who?
to it is going to Maureen, but through Mubarak. So then they now again capture it on the system.
Wait, Mubarak. Who captures?
On the system, Maureen is capturing on the system.
She captures on the
the
system.
IFMIS, yes, on the integrated
No,
financial.
Doreen is not Nasamba. Nasamba is Mubarak. Doreen is Chichoncho. So, Marine received.
Yes. For input.
Okay. She input.
Yes.
We are going to learn how you operate so that immediately after Parliament, I'm going to apply for a job in Ministry of Finance because I will be no.
Putting, then it now has to be approved on the IFMIS.
It was then approved.
Then approved.
It was then approved.
It
We are
was
talking
then-
about past.
Oh, sorry, Chair, about that.
It
Okay.
was then
Approved for
approved
payment.
on
For payment.
who approved?
Mubarak approved on the system.
Is there something like a password?
Yes, there is.
And the password is now in Mubarak's hand.
Yes.
Okay.
So after approving, that's when now the payments go to the payments team, which is central at
Goes to the payments team.
the Treasury.
Now, in the payments team, we want to know who it went to, because now we are talking about the past. Presumably, you know. Now it is no longer team, but particular individuals.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that I want to. Because
Yes.
for me, I thought operations, so I only came with the treasury operations
Yes.
report.
Okay.
But otherwise, there is a central payments team.
That's okay, don't
And,
worry. For you are going to tell us up to the point where, you sent it to the X, team X. But now for you as the chief cashier, and now that these events already took place, you're also going to tell us what you know thereafter, because you must have followed up. Hey, it has happened. Now you know. We will get them, we will have them. Their house is not on fire. We will have them at another occasion. So now, central at the Treasury. That's why we have stopped with Jennifer. So from there, what happened?
Yes, now you are back to me, but I'll talk in general terms because the responsible commissioner is not here. So now, what usually happens?
Who is the responsible commissioner?
It's called Chigenyi Daniel. Yes. So, but what happens for that team?
Wait. Mr. Semakula,
Yes.
our letter of invitation to you dated yesterday,
Yes.
we did mention the subject. And you know that if it is the subject, the person is responsible, should all be here.
The chair has indicated to you, this letter was received towards 6. And I called you, I said, although I have engagement, actually all the ministry staff, well, we had engagement at that time, I'll make sure that I come.
Yeah,
But should you want another clarification, please,
yes, and
we can arrange and
I will
I'll be here.
continue to thank you.
Yeah.
We agreed in that telephone conversation that you'll come with those that you're able to bring.
This one.
You have been able to bring only these ones.
Yeah.
The rest are in that engagement.
Yes.
Okay. But now that the events happened, you have not just a general picture, even the specific ones, specific picture of what happened, because you must have done your own inquiry.
Yes, I do, Honorable.
Before we get Mr. Chigenyi.
That is why I'm saying that let's come and do this. I give you the general, and then
Okay, we shall determine whether there are specifics
and then you can
need to
give
give us.
the specifics.
So after here, Central at the Treasury, what happened?
Now, Central at the Treasury, we have a payment team. Now, this payment team handles all the votes. Basically, for them, is not to do anything, any transaction apart from formatting. So we shall have received payments from Parliament, payments from Defense, payments from Education, payments from Treasury Operations, and amalgamate them into a file based on the funding for that day.
Yes.
Yes. So for them, they don't look at specifics. They are general on that.
Okay.
They are general. So after that, the formatting, then a file is created. So on the system, you have a full file that today, these are the payments that are getting from the Treasury and which have gone to the bank. At that point, yes.
Yes. Now, from your findings, who handled this particular one?
Chair, I said that's why I'm saying that I really need to come and have a discussion on that specifically, so that I go and, because I didn't know what you want to ask me, whether it's a specific operation and so on. Yeah.
When we talked, I told you to come with all the relevant documents. Did you have you come with them?
I couldn't raise them, Chair.
Why?
Because as I said, that you gave me really little time.
Okay.
And I said, but because now the files are in different offices. So
I see you with some documents. You managed to get a few?
No, these are mine for my reference. But if you need...
Okay, you refer to them.
No, it's not possible, because those ones are not there. These were the general correspondence between us and the bank, not the specific operation.
Do they say who was being paid?
From the bank, yes, it says.
Who do you say?
From the bank, I see they said Roadway Company Limited.
No, not from the bank, from you.
No, from us it was very clear, IDA, ADF. This from our report, because it is our report which is the last. So if you have to do any changes...
Okay, Roadway. You were reading Roadway?
From the bank, yes, not from...
From the bank. Who wrote from the bank?
They say Roadway. That was the Director Banking, Roadway Company Limited.
Director Banking, writing to who?
No, this was confirming to the Accounting Officer, Treasury Operations.
No. The Director Banking is telling who?
Accounting Officer. When she requested, it says we sent money to IDA and ADF, but this man has not reached. So what happened? Then the director wrote back and said, incidentally, these EFTs, we have these payments to these people who are not known to us. So
the Director Banking is saying, these
people are
not...
Although you say that these payments were for so and so, but these payments we see, the final pay is...
You see, don't use so and so, because the record will not get... Let me help you.
I don't, Chair, this is...
But I'm saying give it to me. You know I can compel you. Action. As he said, this was on 17th October 24. the accounting officer, stroke treasury operations, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, signed by Charles Mugisa, director. It is from Bank of Uganda. He's saying, we have noted with concern that the mentioned EFTs, and names them, dated September 10th, 2024, and EFT, that one of 26th September 24, were processed STP, but not paid to the beneficiaries you mentioned in your letters as per the table. And he mentions them, and they're saying Roadway Company Limited, MUFG Bank, Japan, the 6.134, 1377.5. Okay? Where the intended payee was International Development Association, but the final payee was that one. African Development Fund, the money went to MJS International. But this is post now.
Yeah.
It is after. Okay, I have seen this. So this is one letter of October 17th, 2024 from BOU, Office of Director Banking. Can we look at your document which named the right beneficiary?
Did we bring it?
I will return.
Because I did.
Your hope is not misplaced.
No, I don't. This one.
That's why I'm not putting anyone somewhere where you cannot.
So I just hope I'll get back the
Absolutely.
documents. Okay.
You see, have you submitted these documents? Have you submitted these documents to the auditors?
Yes, they do.
What makes you think you cannot submit them to us?
We do. We have submitted all those, Chair. Very good.
Okay, 10th October 24, Director Banking, Bank of Uganda. It is from Jennifer Muhuruzi Bijirwa. Request for confirmation of foreign exchange transaction, EFT number 14380401. A transaction amounting to 6.13, I mentioned, was processed for the benefit of International Development Association. Confirmation was received from the bank that the transaction was successfully executed. And this was reflected in the corresponding bank statement as shared via email on 11th September 2024. It has come to our notice that IDA has not yet received the above funds. In light of the above, I request you to confirm remittance of the funds to IDA's account by availing the respective SWIFT advice for verification purposes. Please note that these funds relate to debt service, which is overdue. Mrs. Muhuruzi? You are making reference to confirmation which was made.
Yes, Chair.
Do you have a copy of that confirmation which was made by Bank of Uganda that they remitted?
Yes, Chair. When payments which go to the central team, after they have been remitted to the Bank of Uganda, normally we get feedback through, again, the same department.
So you got feedback?
Yes.
Where is it? You have it?
Chair, I don't have that feedback.
It's okay. We shall have it.
Okay.
It's not here with you.
No, it's not here with me. But,
To be submitted before close of business today.
Okay.
Okay. And for the documents that I ask you to by hand to the clerk, and he acknowledges receipt. In your presence, he puts in an envelope, seals, you both sign on that enclosing bit of the envelope. Why? We do not want to be accused of leaking your documents, but we also sensitive to the operations of both the bank and the ministry, especially the bank. The ministry is our political establishment. The bank does a professional job elsewhere, and the documents will not be shared. I will also not touch them in the absence of the clerk. My members will not touch them in the absence of the clerk and myself. So I want to address your sensitivities. So this is now 10th October. The other one was September 27th. Was it 17th? Yes. So on October 24th, there is a letter from the director to the director banking from your ministry, and it is signed by Lawrence Semakula, now Accountant General. I think that's when you had come in. And of course, Mr. Semakula is affirming that the person, the beneficiary you are mentioning, called Roadway, is not known to us and is not on their database as a service provider, and no contract known to you. That is Mr. Semakula. 24th October 2024, letter from Accountant General. Okay. Mr. Semakula, from 24th October, where do we go?
So we held a meeting between ourselves and the bank and agreed on certain measures to do. The first one was that we should do a forensic to establish, as I said, that we really need to establish, because this is an incident that had never occurred to us, so we really need to establish how this could have happened. We did agree establish through a forensic audit. Then we also said that we should recall the funds. Bank of Uganda should now take all necessary measures to recall the funds. We did agree that should be reported to police, because this now becomes a police case. Okay. And for us, again, as a ministry, we did agree later that we should also involve Financial Intelligence Authority, since they have jurisdictions all over the world, to be able to help us so that we know these people whom they are. So we also wrote a letter to Financial Intelligence Authority to assist us. Yes, I will do, yes. I didn't carry one. Did I carry one? Yeah, I didn't carry one. Oh, just check. But, I didn't carry one, Chair. So, but that's what we did, and we embarked on that forensic review, and when we went to police, the police advised us that it would be much more better for us to also engage the Auditor General, since so
who was to do the forensic audit?
Now we had agreed that since it was a matter of urgency, Bank of Uganda gets somebody to immediately at least give us the basics of what could have happened. But then later we said, no, we need to do a further detailed, because now if we get only one and is contracted by the BOU, we think maybe might not be independent. That was what some people thought, that it might not be independent. So let's get an independent person And that's when we agreed that the Auditor General is an independent person who can authoritatively audit the Bank of Uganda and ourselves to be able to establish the truth.
Okay.
And that's why we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, colleagues, you've heard how we proceed.
First of all, they are talking at cross purposes. When the deputy governor appeared before us yesterday, it appeared that management at Bank of Uganda had taken some bit of investigations with agencies not mentioned specifically by the Accountant General. The Accountant General... Honorable Chair, can I just get a minute to lay my...
No, you see, when you leave that one,
I'm going to...
The agencies in particular.
Yes. For example, I think the Bank of Uganda management specifically talked about CID.
Yes.
And I think that was the specific...
And KPMG.
And KPMG.
Yes. PwC, sorry.
Okay, PwC.
PwC.
And we sought for the mandate under which they are doing it. Now...
Let me clarify on that, Honorable Swambi.
No,
I don't think there is a problem with that.
Can I please lay my fears? Because
you put your
Chair,
fears
you're not
across.
confused. I'm the one who's really confused.
You're the one who is confused.
So I need to get clarification. Thank you, sir. They are talking about the Auditor General, which is a clear mandate. Now, what I wanted to know, these two institutions, with all due respect, they are actually involved in this entire saga. The population out there is really asking what really happened for Bank of Uganda or Minister of Finance to go into this ditch. And now they are the same people commissioning the investigations without any external or independent force. The law is very clear. The Auditor General is under us. So they should have written to the Speaker and get some bit of involvement. Independently, Minister of Finance, you have no control whatsoever to deal directly with the Auditor General under the law. At least I know that mandate. Now that you are doing it, under which specific mandate, and what kind of assurance are you giving us, outsiders, that this is going to be independent and transparent? Then two, and that's the final one. Honorable Chair, when you talk of a forensic audit, it's different from ordinary audit. And now the Accountant General is saying, I don't have this, I'm not aware about this. Now, what kind of forensic audit are they doing when you, the provider of the information, you are ignorant or evasive?
Before I allow them to get you out of the confusion with the Bank of Uganda engaging an auditor, because they must also be interested in knowing, the bank assumes liability to its client if it loses the client's money. So the bank has a duty to establish, how did I lose the client's money? Or am I the one who lost the client's money anyway? And now the forensic would detail who did what part, when. In other words, what is the role of each and every one. Mr. Semakula says when they met with Bank of Uganda, they agreed on a number of measures, which he has outlined. And I do not find them inconsistent with what the bank told us yesterday. Yes, I'm very, very sure. At least I'm not confused. Wait, I'm not concluding. I am guiding. Because from what Honorable Nsibambi said, there are specific questions which arise. And for me, that's where my interest lies. You did all that. But even as they do it, nothing stops you, Bank of Uganda, from auditing your trail. Indeed, the governor told us that there is it internal auditor, undertook, we are yet to come to Bank of Uganda, undertook an audit. Now that audit from this end of Bank of Uganda will give us the result from their finding. Don't forget, actually, when you said, Honorable Swami, they are speaking at cross purpose, I expect it. In fact, it is what I expect. Because I am dealing with the client and the client's bankers. The client is saying, I did not instruct you to pay roadway. Not so? Isn't that your story? The bank is saying, you instructed me to pay roadway. So I expect them to speak at cross purpose. What we are now expecting them to do is for each side to give us their documents. And let me guide. There is no document that you cannot give us. Nobody is going to hide under the police. Nobody is going to hide under the auditor. I mean, if the auditor, who is an external person, can access documents, how about the owner of the money? We own the money.
In fact, Chair, I wanted to add that
Yes.
our rules,
Yes.
rules empower this committee with the powers of the High Court, even to compel. And it appears they are just being elusive and evasive.
I agree with you up to the first bit of. I will not allow you to make a judgment on whether they are elusive and evasive. Let me tell you, if we are to get there, we will get there. We are not yet there. And we have not reached the level of exercising those powers. Why? They have not refused to give us the documents. 2, they are entitled to give us the answers they feel they have, including lies. The trouble will only come in when we process it and establish that it is a lie. And you know what we can do, or what we normally do. So I am being soft like Omo. It is tough on stains, but soft on the hands. So I will softly ask. 1, from the perspective of Mr. Semakula and your team, Treasury Operations, give me just one document on each transaction that was saying pay IDF. Is it ADF and I and IDA? 2, let me know, I will know from the bank where you got the document that says pay roadway. And what is the other company? MJS. I think to me that one sorts the entire game. Then I will know. Because at least we agree that IDA was to be paid. ADF was to be paid. The other 2 were not to be paid. So I want to know who instructed the bank to pay the 2. So I come back to you, Mr. Semakula.
Chair, before that.
Wait. Sorry, I'm advised. Good. Honorable Nathan Twesije Itungo of Kashari South.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair, maybe I need another shock absorber here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want to thank the team for the information they are giving us. You see, Chair, I think the concern of the members and the concern of the public is one that from your submissions, this seems to be an inside game, an inside dealing. And you are saying it is the first of its kind. Our only concern is the casual way of how you are handling this matter. It is as if you are taking it for granted that you'll get the results. It is as if you are not shrewd. It's as if you are insensitive on the amount of money we have lost. I think that is the concern of the member. That, for example, I would imagine that in your system, you have internal control systems. At this point, as the chair was asking, you should have now statements from all the officers who are involved in that system. But when you come and say, we are doing our level best by waiting for someone from the committee, we are concerned. Then, Mr. Chairman, as you have listed the number of officers, yesterday, Chair, if you talked to the Chair and said, I want people who are concerned, now the person we want is not here. You now want to waste another day to get a person. That shows how casual and maybe under seriousness you are taking this matter to be. And that's why you see, as we hear from members, that is our concern. And for us as representatives of the people, we want to see if there is any, either brick or a nail or something we can add on this so that we get a solution. But when you come and you hide and you say for us we are okay and you don't want to involve us, we are concerned. Because as a committee, there is something we can do as far as these investigations are concerned. So I think, Mr. Chairman, they need to, I wouldn't use the word stir up because they already stirred up. But please, you show commitment that you are doing something. Because now at the end of the day, you are saying we are now waiting for a forensic audit, which may even take 2 years. But as you are waiting for a forensic audit, the money is gone. There is nothing to recover even after the forensic audit, because that is a post-mortem. So if you have internal control systems... I don't like the idea of we are not likely to recover. You see, Chair... One, we are likely to recover. You see, Chair, you are likely to recover if they are cooperative and if it is not an inside
They don't need to cooperate.
But these delaying tactics, as they delay...
For us to recover this money, they don't need to cooperate or involuntary.
That's why, Mr. Chairman...
Now, recovery could be from the fraudsters or from those that were negligent. So don't create an impression that there is a possibility of not recovery.
Now, Chair, if we are to recover as a committee, I would now concur with my neighbor here that we should now go to our rules and act as a high court, not just as a mere committee. We compare them to produce documents, and if need be, you know the last point of the rule, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Now, before I go to your neighbor, you know the radical neighbor belongs to the radical new bar. Radical neighbor, switch off your microphone. I repeat, and I will not tire in repeating this. True, we have those powers you're talking about, but they can only be called into play when someone has refused to give you documents. As we speak, I have documents in my hands. I have documents here. How do you conclude? And therefore, no. I know each and every rule. So I think let's be fair to our witnesses. I told you the house is not on fire. Every document we want, we shall have it. By the way, informally, we have these documents. So anything that somebody hides from us is playing in the hands of the devil. But the rules spell out how we receive these documents. That's why we want to receive them that way. And by the way, we have no suspect before us. We have witnesses. They will help us track who should be a suspect. From these documents, for example, I have seen an instruction that pay the African Development Fund, ADF. Okay? So we will get the documents. Two, I have seen letters requesting for confirmation whether payment has been made. No, they are not. You must have the patience, by the way. I have seen a document here saying PAY is International Development Association, Washington. Ongoing forensic. Document on the forensic he has been talking about. Ongoing forensic audit by PwC. The document is here. Incidents of cyber fraud regarding external debt payments, transfer meant for IDA. They are writing, they are talking. To me, those are steps.
Chair, which date is that? You read
the date? Yes. October 29th.
Now we are in December. What
yes. You see, you will never play the role of a judge if you do not have patience.
Chair, can he formally present it for even us
who
are not
don't
part
worry.
of the chair? No, when you receive it, Honorable Chair, he's about to leave.
Who said he's about to leave?
He said he has 1 hour.
No. I'm the one who gave it to him. I can withdraw it for a purpose. You know why I'm going through these documents? For us to identify the documents we want. And for us to get the documents we want. Once you get these documents, you shall revert to the bank and say your client says, I told you to pay this. Now, I think to me, so far the most relevant are these two, which we are saying pay or ADF, pay IDA. We will also get the documents from Bank of Uganda. So, be patient, which say that pay roadway. Those are the ones we are going to ask for and get. We are going to, just before, as you come in, you're going to come in.
Just a quick one.
Wait. Mr. Semakula, you're going to nominate 2 persons from your end. Lawino and Twin CID. No. He has. Go with the 2 of you, get up. Come. Give me 2 persons from your end. Go and make 1 copy of each of these documents. I will do it. Don't worry. I'm going to get them formally. Who are you nominating? Or if you don't have anyone you're nominating, my people will go and photocopy. Okay, please go and make 1 copy each and bring them here. We now proceed to Honorable Mwadanku Nyinji.
It's unfortunate police is going. I wanted to pray that some of these witnesses before us are equally forwarded to police, because from their answers.
Make your submission. There is nothing unfortunate. I can even I can call the IGP to come.
Yeah, from the responses I've had, Chair, yesterday when we were interfacing with the Deputy Governor, he alluded to a system, a payment system within Bank of Uganda, that whatever comes from Minister of Finance is automatically handled in the system and paid as it has been presented. And even insinuated that probably there is even no need for human involvement. It is computerized system. Now, the narrative from the Minister of Finance is to the effect that for them, they indicated the right recipients as per equal documents you have cited, some of them. Now, we cannot be taken for a ride. Both of them must, at this point, know at what stage did the recipient name change, even before we look at the documents. At what stage? Because that is the immediate inquiry one will find out. Taking us around the circle, that this is happening, this will be welcome in terms of information. But let's get a precise position. Yes, you indicated that you are paying IDF. At what point? And the Bank of Uganda Deputy Governor was telling us, for them, what comes from your ministry is automatically paid in the available system. And he said there was no fraud in terms of cyber fraud from his narrative of yesterday. So we want to understand now, if the documents we are saying pay IDF and other recipients, and the governor is saying there was no cyber fraud. Now, at what stage did the recipient name change?
Guide me on who we should lock up, because I'm also itching.
Chair,
tell me who we should lock up.
Number 1 is the Deputy Governor. And then this, I don't know what his name is. Is it Accountant General? The 2 of them. And Chair, I'm equally praying that we must put them on oath, because they know the truth. And they are just taking us for a raid. Let's put them on oath.
But you see, you're answering my question on who I should arrest. And I want that. Now you're running to the civil beat. Arresting is a criminal process.
Chair,
guide me.
In the
Deputy Governor, I charge him with what? Detain him? What do we put on the detention?
The first step securing accuracy, and it's within our rules, is to put the
Supposing he gives you a document saying, Mr. Semakula told me to pay roadway.
In the situation where we are in, that he alluded to a fact that there was no fraud.
There is
anywhere.
no situation
From their answers.
from us.
Yeah, from their answers. The rules allows us to test their accuracy, principally by first of all putting them on oath, so that they speak the truth. Otherwise, they are deceiving us intentionally. And here, you said they are witnesses, but to us, these are suspects.
To you and who?
To us
you
as
and your
people,
family.
to us as people, I'm a member of parliament.
You mean I'm not
These are people
one of the
responsible
people?
for national resources. They mismanaged it. Money is lost in billions. They are here just loitering with irrelevant answers. The relevant answers are one. Tell us at what stage did you realize that the money is going to a wrong recipient? When did the recipient name change? Let's start from there.
Honorable
And what
Mwada,
did you do?
Honorable Mwada,
Have you suspended any staff involved
now
in your hierarchy?
Okay.
Chair, these people are very annoying.
You have, you see, okay, now switch off the microphone. First of all, I will never allow you to get annoyed when you are sitting in the chair of a judge where you are seated. Stay calm. Let's get all the facts. That's number one. I will never go to a penalty before I exhaust the hearing. Number two, I hope not three, is they are not suspects. I am one of the people you are referring to, but now you and I have distinguished ourselves to sit here and listen. You know, and I know you know, you're a lawyer of some sizable standing. The right to a fair hearing is non-derogable. We say as lawyers that every man is entitled to a fair hearing, however capricious that man may appear to be. We will continue to listen them in fairness. You see, we will dispose one by one. How do you put the deputy governor on oath when he's not even on the stand?
He's not above the law.
He's actually
and he should not intimidate anyone's eyes.
I am now advising you to turn off that microphone.
Once he's in Parliament and summoned,
I'm sure you agree with me.
Intimidate anyone's eyes. Let's put him on
Honorable
oath. So he
Mwada,
speaks the
I'm
truth.
sure you agree with me that I'm heard in silence. Okay? You have made your submission. Hear my guidance in silence. And kindly don't turn on that microphone before I authorize you. No procedure. You cannot put me on procedure. Honorable Kayondo, you know the rules. I am guiding, you put me on procedure. You see, I'm the one on the floor. Procedure relates to the person on the floor. Okay, colleagues, listen, let's do it this way. Let's receive all the documents we want. I will not exercise any power of the High Court with respect to receiving documents when I'm receiving them. In the normal course, it has not failed. That's number one. Number two, I am guiding that there is no suspect before us. We have witnesses, and we are going to deal with them as such. Number three, no witness is going to hide in other processes which are extraneous to the process of Parliament. If there is anything that you think is confidential, you tell us, we make a ruling on it. So, we are not locking up anyone at this stage. We are proceeding as normal. Honorable Kabasharira?
I've been listening, and I'm sorry yesterday I was not here. I was representing you in Mombasa. But I'm happy I've listened to you, I've listened to the presentations. I did not listen to the presentation yesterday, but from what I've picked, I tend to agree with you, Chairman, that we first get information, the documents, because there is ping pong between the two institutions. One is saying, the client is saying, I told you this. The other one is saying, no, you told me this, and money went. So unless if we get the documents, because I'm sure they are there, they even have, I've seen a good number of IT. You know, these days, some of us who were born in BBC, and these ones who are in IT, they seem to be taking a lot of advantage over the other. And we used to say that a click of a pen, but these days it is a click of the button, and things change. And I'm sure if we go slowly, there is this Maureen whom they have mentioned, there is Mubarak, there is things just stand like this and that. I think we might even be castigating the wrong people. The small people that are there, maybe high ones can also be in the know, but those who played the games, I think they can easily be got if we take it slowly. Slowly with time, we shall
It could
reach,
even be an act of God.
we shall reach
Interrogations will tell us
yes.
whether it is an act of God.
Yes.
You know, in common law, we had an act of God and then enemies of the state. So we will find out who it is.
So I think we also need to give the Accountant General time to get us the right documents, and also the
Some
right
of the
people.
right documents are going to be here now, today.
And
The
also,
others will come.
and also to interact with those people that they have mentioned, Chairman. Whoever was in the line, because the process is long and there are many people who are involved. So who did this and that? We should eventually, I think, get.
Let's go to Kasese.
Chair, I want to thank you for the guidance, and I agree with you entirely. Yesterday, we dealt with one witness, and he was alone, the Bank of Uganda. Today, that witness is sitting here with another witness, the client, Minister of Finance. Where I come from, they say that when you listen to one witness, you may not judge properly until you have listened to the second and the third. And I'm glad that the Accountant General has told us what seemingly seems to be the truth. I want to say,
Point of order, Honorable Mwaga.
Chair,
Mwada.
Chair, is procedure concerning when a member alludes to a submission as the truth, when actually we are still interrogating, and we have even made prayers that you put them on oath, presupposing that we are in high doubt. Is it in order?
No, he's in order because actually the presumption is to the contrary. When a witness is telling you, you will assume that he's telling you the truth until evidence betrays him or her.
Chair, we have evidence that money was lost. And they have not explained the whereabouts of the money.
I actually
They cannot be saying the truth before disclosing the whereabouts of the money.
Mwada, you see, when you raise a point of order, you are guided. We do not simply have evidence that money was lost. They have admitted, the custodian has admitted that money was lost. We don't need proof on that. We don't need to prove that. What we are looking for is that who lost our money? Who stole it? And presumably, the evidence given by the Accountant General is correct. The evidence given by Bank of Uganda is correct. There is evidence which has not been given to us, which will now tell us. So far, the evidence has not told us who lost our money. The evidence we are digging for and which we must get is who lost our money. We are yet to come to Bank of Uganda. We actually know some of the people who stole our money. The fraudster called Roadway. Wait, the fraudster called Roadway stole our money. We want to know exactly. No. I overrule you on that. There is no accomplice so far established. We will get the accomplices because we say money was in our wardrobe. The door to the house was not broken into. The wardrobe key is with someone. The wardrobe was not broken into. So who had the safe itself is safe. So we want to know who facilitated, who provided the key. And the colleagues, let us not spend time on procedural guidances, on basic things. Honorable Mujungu, proceed.
Thank you for protecting me, Chair. Remember, Bank of Uganda told us we feed the system. On the opposite side, they receive. They also reply. But fortunately, the client has told us the beneficiary changed along the chain. And this is very critical, I think, Mr. Chairman, in this meeting. However, Chair, I wanted the Accountant General to come clear. Yes. He's a professional accountant. Yes. And he's sitting on the head of the economy, Minister of Finance. To say that this incident was unprecedented, therefore they needed magical knowledge, maybe, to handle it, is far-fetched from him. I believe the ministry has internal controls. My brother alluded to it. How do you manage risk in the ministry? Did this one fall within the domain of the risk that goes with this transaction? Mr. Chair, when we talk of $6 million, we are talking of an equivalent of 5 seed schools. 5 seed schools in this country, stolen, lost. Yes. Mr. This is about 21 billion. This is about 21 billion.
Total is 60 billion.
No, I'm just talking about $6 million. One tranche of the transaction, Mr. Chair. And I'm saying if you put... Okay, Mr. Chair, that the Accountant General has not showed seriousness over the level of this risk. Secondly, Chair, the bank told us yesterday that when they have authorized the payment, they forward to the ministry, to him, I believe, to confirm, and they give 2 days.
Are we paying the right person?
Are we paying the right person? And it was indicated yesterday that you are sometimes silent on the deadline of 2 days. You need to come clear that you have already
and that when they don't respond,
they click the
these
button.
ones pay.
So come clear here, Mr. Accountant. Chair, I want to close my submission at that. Thank you.
I did ask you what your serious.
Yes.
So he will not answer that question because you did not ask.
No, Mr. Chairman.
But wait. But I cannot thank the Accountant General, who you are saying is unserious. I will only thank him when I discover that he was actually serious. Honorable Martin Muzari.
Mr. Chairman, I want to begin with Madam Jennifer, who is the... of course, in her department, there are 3 people involved in this transaction. That is herself, Maureen, and Mubarak. Now, you've told us that Maureen is almost the last person in terms of approval. Is that true? Mubarak.
You need to answer
Yes,
that.
Mubarak is the last person.
Yes, Mubarak
in terms
is the
of
last
approval.
person.
Is that true?
In terms of action,
Chair, it is the accounting officer, but when the accounting officer is not available, then that role is delegated.
So in this case, who of the two?
in this case, was the accounting officer available?
Yes, the accounting officer was available, but invoice approval had been delegated to Mubarak.
So in this case, it's Mubarak.
Mubarak.
So did Mubarak approve this transaction when BOU was requesting for your approval?
Chair, the way it works is after the payments have been sent to the bank and we get the feedback, which I talked about, through the central department that processes the payments. It is by way of statements. So then
No,
we
wait. Deputy Governor, you told us yesterday that when you are to authorize payment, you first send to finance for approval, and that approval takes 2 days. So the question is, when you sent requesting for authorization from finance, did you, through Mubarak, approve or authorize the payment? Don't take us through the stories.
No, it is not stories, but the process is in such a way that when I have my invoices sent, they are showing who is to be paid. And this is managed centrally. So when we send them to the BOU, we now receive feedback, and this usually is by exception. And always what we do is we are interested in the exceptions, and the exceptions would be that now you wanted to pay IDA, but it has bounced. Maybe the account is closed or they are not there. When you don't get an exception, then it means the payment has gone as per the instruction. And then an email to that effect is also sent to say you wanted to pay IDA, we paid IDA.
Mr. Chairman, allow me that the governor repeats the words he said yesterday in regard to seeking approval or authorization for payments.
Why knows you do not allow one witness to interfere into the submission of another. You let each witness put their case across, independent and separate of the other. Why we organized this meeting this way is we want the governor to hear what the other people are saying. I summarized the gist of what he said in their absence. We are going to record their evidence. When it comes to the bank side, we'll record it separately.
Okay, thank you.
Clarification on that, sorry, Mzee. Get it from Jennifer. When the Bank of Uganda requested in those 2 days, you are talking of who this and that, who authorized that email, who confirmed that please go on and pay. Not that process you are telling us who did it, because I'm sure there is someone to do it.
Actually, in
To write.
Honorable Kabasharira, first, the questions should be points that request made. 2, did you make the verification or confirmation?
Okay,
Mr.
yeah.
Mr.
The
Chairman,
chairman has put it right.
Mr. Chairman, from the explanation I've got from her, she was trying to explain that it is under exceptional circumstances that she's required to respond. Otherwise, when they have sent, they leave it to them.
So
What
your
they
follow-up
wait for,
question should be, was there a request for them to confirm in this case
she has answered it.
that?
In this case, they didn't.
You answered. There was a confirmation, right?
No, she's saying they didn't.
No, go to the microphone. The witness is here.
Chair, I would need that. Let my colleague return, and then we can confirm that. But for
Okay.
me, what I know is that after payments have been sent and they have been received by the bank, the system will generate a payment advice, and that we receive immediately, saying that this person has been paid, and then the EFT number is also showing. So that we received.
Mr. Chairman?
No?
And
No, we are not. Oh, we are at a point of, was there confirmation that proceed and pay? That is the sticky point where we are at. Did you?
Mr. Chairman, I
The-
wanted to...
The issue raised by Honorable Naomi Kabasharira, or off the mic, I kept asking even the governor. But I will forgive her for now. She says somebody is going to get back to her and confirm, give us an answer. Whether in the affirmative, she's still here. Whether in the affirmative or not. We will allow Honorable Muzare to continue with that question pending.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Or you want to answer? She was pressing the mic.
Chair,
Muzare.
question is when we received the preliminary statement, it was indicating idea to
And that was
which we were comfortable.
Before payment.
Yes.
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 Can we have that? Which
Yes,
was
yes.
saying, which was the
Which
inquiry.
was showing that it
You have
was
not, you have
idea.
understood my question? Can we have that communication? Before
From
close
the
of
bank,
business.
from the bank.
When the bank inquired and it was indicating
Idea.
the right recipient.
Okay, Chair.
By close of business today.
Okay, Chair. That's okay.
Martin, please.
the investigation is very simple. We only need that document, and it will ease our work. Now, my only disappointment is this case has been in the domain for some months, but up to today you don't have. But up to today you don't have information on your fingertips. That's why I'm disappointed, because, like for instance, Madam Jennifer, by now you should be with all the information. Information should be flowing very fast. We don't want to act like our. So now to the accounting officer. Accounting code the payment section.
Do I need CID to go and arrest my CID? Or yes, can you find out? If you have my papers.
Now, in the payment, there is a team also that handled these files. This had a meeting between the two departments that handle these transactions to find out what exactly happened. Because it looks like the way you are telling us, you literally even have no knowledge of who exactly in the payment section handled this file. That alone explains that you've not taken enough of your efforts.
Okay. The question is clear.
No, Chair, what is not clear?
Just wait, Honorable Sebambi. Let me finish.
No, just
Allow him the
just to
intervention.
chip
You know,
in.
Basoga will take
I-
some time to finish.
You are-
You will finish. You will have all the time.
The point,
Let's receive.
you're also raising our sugar levels. Because now these people are here being massaged. Have you, for example, committed people or interdicted those officers as forensic is going on? But you are just here being massaged. No.
Okay.
No. Honorable Ozima, sorry, Honorable Muzare, specifically go further to say, you guys, you are here for us.
I don't allow
the
coaching. I gave
And on that point yesterday,
we
that
insisted.
that if
Who
there is
gave you the microphone?
Chair-
Please switch off the
Chair,
microphone.
through you,
Switch off the microphone. Martin Muzale.
Chair, we are giving
Thank you,
information
Chair.
to
Martin
Muzare.
Muzale.
Chair,
Muzare
thank you
receive
so much.
information.
No.
Thank you so much.
Itungo, switch off the microphone.
Muzare,
No information. Proceed on Muzale.
Colleagues, let me finish. Now, Accountant General conducted a meeting so that we can get some minutes of what transpired in that meeting. Because we need to understand how far have you gone with this issue. Because colleagues want to understand your level of seriousness.
You were wondering whether I will return them. We are going to go through them, don't worry. Martin Mzale.
Colleagues want to understand
Now we have order.
your level of seriousness in regard to handling of this issue. Do you have some minutes of meetings so that we can see what exactly transpired in those meetings?
Minutes by close of business today.
Lastly, we have what we call the IT sections. The IT experts. If I'm to pick it from what the Deputy Governor yesterday said, you know, these things are automated, what and so on. We want to know,
Honorable Nsibambi,
with all the money that we are paying the IT experts here, at what point could you help us to identify this fraud? Because in some other institutions, if anything happens from your computer, someone else will know that you are the person who originated it here. So can we know from the IT department, finance, you tell us, who, at what point did this fraud happen?
Honorable Mzale, forgive me for this interjection. I am agreement. When Mr. Semakula was beginning to speak, he said there was a breach. And we are now going through the process of knowing where the breach is. I want to excuse Mr. Semakula. One, he will nominate a representative to remain behind. Two, I want us, give me one document which said pay.
And the chair, he also needs to answer our questions before he goes.
Wait. You see, Honorable Mwada, I am not a novice at this. Give me a document which says pay idea.